I thought I wanted solitude. Nestled deep in the Pacific Northwest, the cabin looked like a dream, hidden from the world, surrounded by towering pines and the ever-present hum of a distant river. A place where no one could reach me, where I could finally breathe. But the forest here doesn't breathe, it watches. When I arrived, the sun was just starting to bleed through the trees. The cabin stood crooked but charming, stone chimney, mossy roof, and a deck that creaked like it was whispering. I smiled. This was mine for the weekend. No notifications, no people, just me and nature. I unpacked quickly, too excited to sit still. My boots hit the trail behind the cabin as the last gold light filtered through the trees. The forest was alive, warm, and earthy. But on my way back, I saw something odd near the edge of the woods, stones arranged in a perfect circle, and in the center, a feather, burnt at the tip. I brushed it off. Maybe some hiker ritual. I told myself not to overthink it. As darkness settled over the forest, something changed. The warm, friendly hush of the trees gave way to a deep, unnatural silence. No bugs, no birds. Even the river felt muted, like the world was holding its breath. I lit a fire in the stone hearth, hoping the crackle and glow would push the unease out of my bones. I curled up with a book, told myself it was all in my head. Then I heard it. A soft thud against the far wall of the cabin. I froze. A minute passed. Another thud. Closer this time. I crept to the window, flashlight in hand. The beam cut through the darkness, landing on trees that loomed like watching figures. I saw nothing. But the silence? It pressed against the glass like a weight. I locked the door. The knocking didn't stop. It circled the cabin, slow, steady, like someone or something was testing the walls, looking for a way in. I stepped outside against every instinct I had and swept the flashlight across the clearing. Cold air burned my lungs. At first, nothing. Then I saw them. Footprints, huge sunken prints in the soft dirt by the wall. Bare, human, but not. The toes were too long, the stride too wide. The trail led from the woods right to my cabin, and then stopped. Just gone. I backed up slowly. That's when I saw it. Something moved in the tree line. Not walked, not ran, shifted, like it had peeled itself from the bark of a tree. I ran back inside and bolted the door. My phone had no signal. My keys, gone. I checked every window, locked every door, sat by the fire with a knife in my hand and my back to the wall. Around midnight, I heard footsteps on the roof. Slow, deliberate, pacing, scratching. Then silence. I didn't sleep. Just sat there, waiting for the sun, heart pounding loud enough to drown out thought. And then, just before dawn, came the knock. Not on the door, on the window. 3 slow taps. I turned. Nothing, no one. But I felt it, the presence, close, patient. When the light finally returned, I stepped outside like a ghost. I barely recognized the world in front of me. Same trees, same wind, but wrong. Like the forest had shifted in the night. Then I saw the circle again. Only now something had been left in the center. A tooth. My tooth. I didn't know it was missing until I screamed. I've always felt most alive alone in the wild. No phone, no traffic, just wind through trees and the steady rhythm of my boots on dirt. That's why I chose Pine Ridge Forest for my summer trip in 2015. Quiet, isolated, untouched. 2 days on the Hollow Creek Loop, just me and the trail. I was prepared. Map, compass, extra rations, every inch of gear double-checked. I logged my name in the ranger's book and stepped off the gravel into the trees, the world behind me falling silent. The forest welcomed me at first. Birds sang. A cool breeze moved through the pines. I followed the trail deeper, taking in the golden hour light, cutting through the canopy like stained glass. I remember thinking, this is perfect. But the deeper I went, the quieter it got. Not in a peaceful way, in a wrong way. No birds, no insects, just stillness. Heavy. Watching. That night I camped near a stream, made a fire, ate. But the moment the sun dipped below the ridgeline, I felt it. A shift. The air got colder, too fast. My fire didn't crackle. It hissed like it was trying to warn me. I heard something out there. Not an animal, not a bear. This was softer, pacing, deliberate. At one point I called out, "Hello?" thinking maybe another hiker had strayed close. But no one answered. I barely slept. The next morning I found something by the stream. A ring of stones. Dead center, a single black feather, burnt at the tip. Not fallen naturally, placed, deliberately. I didn't touch it. I should have left then. I knew better. But something held me there. It didn't feel like a decision. I kept moving, following a narrow, unmarked trail I hadn't seen on the map. That's when time shifted. I don't know how else to explain it. The sun seemed stuck in the same place for hours. My watch stopped ticking. The trail looped in ways that made no sense. I passed the same crooked tree 3 times, no matter which direction I walked. The forest was folding in on itself. That night, the whispers started. They came from just beyond the tree line. My name, soft as breath. Mark. Mark. I tried to tune it out, blamed the wind, exhaustion. But something stepped into my camp after midnight. I didn't see it, not fully. Just movement. A tall shape, too thin, limbs too long, its presence wrong in a way my brain couldn't hold. It stood at the edge of the firelight, head tilted, as if studying me. And I couldn't move. Not from fear, because it wouldn't let me. When I blinked, it was gone. But the fire had gone out. Completely. No smoke, no embers. Just dead coals and frost-covered stones. The next day, I tried to turn back. I followed the trail, but it kept leading me deeper. Even the sun began to lie. East and west no longer mattered. I dropped a marker, my spare compass, on the trail. An hour later, I found it again, undisturbed. As if I'd never left. Something was hunting me. It didn't need to chase. It moved the forest around me. That night, I didn't set up camp. I just kept walking, thinking I could outpace it. But everything blurred. The forest pulsed with a sound too deep to be heard, felt only in the bones. Trees leaned toward me like they were listening, watching, smiling. Then I saw the lights, faint, blue, dancing between trunks like will-o'-the-wisps. I followed because what else was there? Maybe I hoped they led to a road. Maybe I just wanted an end to it. But they led me here, to this place, this hollow. The air doesn't move here, the sky is gone. Just tall black trees and stone circles. They hum when you get too close. The feathers here again. Waiting. I don't think I can leave anymore. I don't think I was ever supposed to. I hear voices now, not whispering, but singing. Low and ancient. In a language I don't understand, but feel in my chest. Sometimes I see things. Flickers of search parties in the distance. People calling my name. But I can't reach them. I try. I scream. They never hear me. I'm not dead. Not yet. But I'm somewhere else. A place layered beneath the forest, like rot beneath bark. And whatever lives here, it needed me. It called me. And I answered. I still remember the way the fog clung to the treetops that evening, like something alive. We thought we were just out for a spring camping trip. Nothing serious. Just 4 friends, a fire, and the quiet of Blackwood Forest to drown out the noise of our daily lives. We set up camp deep in the woods, where the trees stand like ancient sentinels, and the underbrush swallows the sound of your footsteps. It was peaceful at first. Too peaceful. No bird song, no chirping insects. Just the crackle of our fire and the occasional breeze sighing through the branches. We should have left the moment we noticed the silence. As night fell, we sat in a tight circle, passing around a bottle and trading ghost stories, laughing too loud, trying to feel braver than we were. That's when we heard it. A rustling just beyond the firelight, not like a rabbit or deer. Something deliberate, heavy. We turned in unison, flashlights flickering as we scanned the thicket. And then it stepped out. Tall, gaunt, covered in fur so dark it looked like shadow made flesh. It moved like it had too many joints, shoulders hunched, limbs bending wrong, like it had studied how to be human but never quite got it right. Its eyes, they glowed. Not from the firelight, from inside, a sickly pale yellow that locked onto us like it was peering into our bones. Nobody screamed. We just froze. It tilted its head, slow and curious, like it was trying to decide what we were, or maybe what we were worth. Then it smiled, not with its mouth, but with its whole posture, a slow crouch, fingers dragging across the moss, a predator savoring the moment. I don't remember who broke first. One of us whispered, "Run." And we did. We didn't pack, didn't even grab the keys, just tore through the forest, branches slapping our faces, hearts thundering. Behind us, we heard it move, effortless and quiet. Too quiet for something that big, like it was everywhere, watching. We made it to the cars, drove until the trees gave way to pavement. Only then did we speak, each of us offering a broken version of what we saw. A twisted deer, a humanoid shadow, a guardian of something we were never meant to see. Back in town, we asked around. Locals just shook their heads, said we were lucky, that it lets you go if you run, if you respect the boundary. They called it the woodland wraith, the tree dweller, a spirit older than memory, older than language, bound to the forest. Not evil, but not kind. It protects what's buried deep, and it doesn't forget faces. I don't camp anymore. None of us do. But sometimes, on foggy nights, I feel it, watching from behind the trees in my backyard, waiting,